Hello, it is Pastor Ty here.
And it's Pastor Matthew. We are going to jump into the Gospel Story Bible in just a second. Just as a reminder, if you haven't purchased your copy already, you can use the link below to read the story that we're going to talk about today.
Yes, all right. Are you ready for the question of the week?
Yes.
All right, when is a time that somebody tricked you?
So, Pastor Ty, I feel like you would have a lot of good answers to this question because Kelly has a little bit of a reputation as a trickster.
Yeah, my wife Kelly actually loves pranks, which is not great for me.
Really loves pranks.
Yeah, so there's one story in particular that stands out. This was on April Fool's Day last year. She got up in the middle of the night and she went out into our driveway where my truck was parked, and she had purchased this really old picture frame from Goodwill, so it was a couple dollars, and it had like a glass cover. So she got into my truck, pulled everything out of the glove box, papers, receipts, everything was everywhere, and then she turned it on, rolled down my driver's side window, turned it off, and then she took that cheap piece of glass and smashed it on the driveway outside of my window.
Oh, to make it look like your window was broken?
I went out, it looked like my window had been smashed in,
cow.
and somebody ransacked my truck. And actually,
that's nuts.
My neighbor that morning, the one time our dog has ever gotten loose was that morning. So my neighbor walks up with my dog, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, somebody broke into your truck. Somebody stole all your stuff." And I was like, "No,
that's crazy.
It's April Fool's Day. It was just my wife pranking me." And she gave me this look and walked away.
Okay. Well, now you know. April Fool's Day is coming up in several months.
Stay away.
Stay away from Kelly.
Stay away.
Okay,
it's my least favorite day of the year.
That is pretty intense trickery, I have to say. Before we get into the Bible, we want to remember that it tells one big story, and we are a part of that story. And the one we're going to read today fits right here.
All right, as we read today's story, we have two things we want you guys to look out for. Matthew, I gave you the first one.
Stuffed animal.
Yeah, but specifically a snake.
Oh, got it.
Or a serpent, maybe, is what they would call it. And then, Matthew, do you have the other thing we should look out for?
Yes. So this is what we want you guys to do. In the story today, there's some people that are going to make some very poor choices. So when you hear someone in the story make a poor choice, we want you to make a wrong buzzer sound. You know what that is when someone gets a wrong answer? And they make that buzzer sound, that kind of thing. Yeah. Like that.
So here, let's practice.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Pastor Matthew.
Definitely. Oh, wait. How about this one? Hi, I'm the strongest person in the world. Just like that. So when you hear someone in the story make a wrong choice, you make the wrong buzzer sound there in your living room. So grab your Bible, open it up to story number 3. Choose someone in your family to read or take turns, and we'll be back in a second.
I play for the Indianapolis Colts.
What I always wonder with this story is why do they do what they do? Why do they disobey God?
Well, I don't think that they really wanted to disobey God.
I hope not.
On purpose, but I do think that the serpent tricked them. I think that they just got tricked into thinking that they could be as powerful or as smart as God, which we know that that's God's job.
Yeah, the serpent lies to them and they believe it.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about Kelly being a good trickster, but that doesn't even compare. I mean, this is
biggest trick of all time.
Yeah, destruction of the magnificent paradise.
Yeah.
It's awful. But I think my favorite part in this whole story is the part where it says that in the midst of all that sadness, God gave them great hope. I love that idea. It really shows that God had a plan from the beginning to save us from sin. And if you think about it, who else do you know that actually has a good plan that's going to work to save us from sin? Think about that. Do you know anybody like
Paw Patrol?
Paw Patrol. I don't know. They're pretty awesome, but I'm not sure they're that good. Or the Crap Brothers. You guys watch the Crap Brothers? That was the creature power suits that are,
I don't know the Crap Brothers, no.
When
I don't know Super Gecko muscles.
Yeah. When Eliza gets a little bit older, if Crap Brothers are still on, you're going to know who they are. But really, who? Who could save us from sin?
POTUS?
No. The Hulk?
Maybe. He's kind of invincible a little bit, but but
he just tears things up. I feel like that would make it worse.
yeah, he makes the world really broken sometimes,
The
too.
point is, only God has a plan, and that's the good news of
Yeah,
all of this.
God is the only one that has a plan.
Absolutely.
And that plan started thousands and thousands of years ago, but it still affects us today.
Right.
It started with the chosen people. You remember God started a plan with a family, and he
Yes.
promised to save us from the broken world, which happened today. And eventually, the promised one of Jesus came, and the plan worked.
Yeah.
It was fulfilled.
Exactly. So this story does have a really big piece of bad news in it, which is that everyone has disobeyed God. The story was about Adam and Eve, but their sin, unfortunately, has passed on to me and you and all of you guys watching. Everyone who has ever lived since this moment has been guilty of disobeying God.
Yeah, so today's story is a really big story of bad news, but we know that there's good news coming. We know that
Yes.
Jesus dies on the cross to save us from our sin, the sin of Adam and Eve, and that Jesus' death on the cross isn't just to fix Adam and Eve, but it's to fix our sin problem also.
Yes,
So though today
absolutely.
has some really bad news, we know that there's even more good news coming, and it's actually already happened.
Very good. Let's talk a little bit more about that in Family Talk Time. Get ready to pause your video and discuss together. So this guy pulled off a major trick, a lie actually. He lied to them and it screwed everything up.
Yeah, it did. And so now as we go into family prayer time, let's remember that and let's together ask God to help us know the difference between a truth and a lie so that we don't get tricked, so that we can make good decisions, and ultimately so we can just fully trust God to show us the way.
Right. And that's a good point. He can do that. He can help us know the difference for
Yep.
sure.
So let's ask about that during our family prayer time. Pause your video and pray together.
Thanks for watching again. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.